the situation in Israel, the war on Gaza now has entered its 9th month, and by some estimates, there are some 38,000 people who've been affected by it. Either they have lost their lives, separated from families, or their homes have been destroyed. So, when can we expect a ceasefire, and what are the terms and conditions that Israel wants for a ceasefire to happen?
I'll go back maybe to October 7th to emphasize what happened. From the point of view of Israel, it's the worst thing that happened to Jewish people since the Holocaust in Second World War. In October 7 in the morning, it was a very religious Jewish holiday. 6:30 in the morning, there was an infiltration of Hamas terrorists, thousands of them, to more than 20 Jewish communities around Israel. And, they murdered 1,200 people on the way. They cut limbs, they raped, they burned people alive, and they hijacked more than a few hundred people. Now we are in a situation where there are still 120 people held hostage. Some of them are dead. We know that for a fact, but there is inability to know exactly who is alive, who is dead, because access was not granted to anyone. No names, no nothing. They share nothing. All Geneva Conventions are not relevant when you come to a terror organization. And what is the Israeli leadership defined as the two main targets of this operation in Gaza? The first one is to make sure that Hamas does not control Gaza anymore. It does not have the ability to build his force in Gaza in order to attack Israel again. And the second one is bringing back the hostages. So these are the two targets. We're still working towards achieving both of them. We had already we were able through military operations to release a few, but the biggest bunch was released through a deal with Hamas, with international countries mediating. And now we are discussing another deal. I think that the main problem is that from Hamas' point of view, if they give up the hostages, they are afraid that they have no human shields anymore, and that Israel is less restrained in doing what it's set to put. And so they are trying to make sure that there is international pressure on Israel not to continue the war as long as there are negotiations on hostages, and that they can pull these negotiations for eternity. So they will release 20, 30 maybe in the first stage, and then it can be pulled for eternity. The whole idea for them is to survive, and the whole idea for Israel is to make sure that they are not able to control Gaza anymore. So this is really the conflict that is very hard to settle. But I hope that a deal which will include a ceasefire release, and ceasefire will happen soon. I think that the motivation now is better with Hamas, and also in Israel there is great wish to see it happen. I hope it does.
Click here to watch the full episode.